Hello and welcome back to Shokuho, and we're once again leveling up one of our children here. So you can see that I've already done a little bit of this, and as you saw there, we got vigor, leadership, and some charm skill. And hopefully that's going to help us a great deal. Now, of course, she is now age 11, which is pretty amazing. Now, generally, obviously, just think about this. If you were to play this normally without the mod, enhancing the speed of leveling for the children, then she'd be what, age 4, 5, maybe something like that. I'm actually not entirely sure, but whatever the case, it is, in my opinion, for a series like this that I'm doing for the channel, I think it's pretty important that we go for it. Now, we are getting 16,000 in cash every single day thanks to our amazing settlement income. I'm actually really surprised about that. Oh, people are starting to die from old age. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm hopeful that that is actually not going to be... Oh, dear. Apparently, someone died in battle just now. Wait a minute, no! Jinzaburo was just taken prisoner by the Shimazu. Okay, that is actually really bad. That is actually really bad. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, they declared war on us. Yeah, that's something that I didn't update you on because I'm obviously still here in Akamatsu territory. And indeed, we are, of course, going to be making our way back over there at some point. I actually don't know. I mean, obviously, after we are done here, we're probably going to do that. But, well, suffice it to say, it's a significant time investment to get myself over there, and I would prefer to eliminate these guys first, and then we can hopefully deal with the Shimazu after that. Alright, so here we go. I have waited for the starvation mechanic to kick in. I'm actually kind of a bit surprised at myself for that, because I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go straight on in here, because there was 6 days worth of food in there. And usually I'd be saying to you, oh, 6 days, that's nothing. I should be able to immediately just wait for a little bit of time, and then boom, the garrison's done. However, in this situation, I felt like, you know what? There are so many people in the garrison. Like, actually so many people in the garrison. Wait a minute, though. Is this a new siege layout? I think it is. I actually think it is. This is extremely... Wow, look at this. Look at how cool this is. I don't think we've done this. I don't think we've done this one before. I am very much looking forward to this. Okay, well, what I'm going to do... Just going to wait here a little bit. And, yeah, funnily enough, I actually might think that having the battering ram is a bit of a... disadvantage at times, because it might very well be that having your troops move the battering ram, instead of doing the ladder, might actually be kind of detrimental. Might take them a bit too long, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure. Have we done this one before? I don't remember this one. So it could very well... no, actually, wait. I think we've done this one time before. And I gotta say, I actually really like this one. It is extremely picturesque, and it gives you that... shall we say, countryside feeling a little bit more than the others, because they're much more built up, as it were. There's a lot more structure to the fief itself. But this obviously is not that case. We have a lot of nature in and around this area as well. And indeed, we will now... Oh yes, this gate has nothing on us. Oh, yes, there we go. Fantastic. Obviously, these guys are literally just militia because we have completely starved out the garrison. And that's the funny thing. I'm not entirely sure why, but a lot of fiefs always usually... I mean, it's pretty clear. They have a lot of militia, right? Of course they have a lot of militia. But there are some that have more in the garrison than they do militia. And in those situations, that's absolutely incredible to see as the offensive force. You really want to be the offensive force in that case, you know, literally every single time, because all you have to do then is just wait out the food supply, if you can, that is. Because many times over, you're probably not going to have the ability to do so, because there's going to be any number of reasons why that might not be the case. Like, for example, think about the town that we had in the previous episode. It literally had, what was it now, 14,000 units of rice or something like that. They probably would have had, well, probably even more than Yuzuki. And that was 55 days worth, right? 55 days, absolutely insane. But yeah, I got it. Well, there you go. 278 damage to the neck. I was not expecting to get shot, that's for sure. But yeah, this is... Oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, I really like this one. I died here in exactly the same place beforehand, if I recall correctly, in a previous episode. I think it was a while ago. It was a while ago we did something like this. And I think I do recall me dying in almost exactly the same way. But I was just about to say that the tactical, strategic advantage of this fief is not that great, because obviously, you know, from an aesthetic standpoint, this is clearly one of the most picturesque, one of the most beautiful ones that you can do, just because of the you know, the foliage, the, you know, the flora that we have going on here. So yeah, anyway, the point is, this area here, not very good. Like, yes, okay, archers can shoot through here, but that's pretty much it. Most of the rest of the fief doesn't really have a huge advantage in that regard, unless the reason that we don't see that much is because we have already eliminated the garrison. If you have a full garrison here and full militia and all that stuff, I assume you're probably going to be seeing much more problematic situations occur. That's probably the case. So, you know, take what I say with grains of salt here, obviously, but in general, I think that's probably it. Anyway, let's see if I can capture a couple of very, very nice people. Thank you very much. There we go. And then we're going to move on. I would love to get to tier 6, but I have a feeling it's probably not going to happen for quite some time. And there you go. The Akamatsu have now been destroyed, which is wonderful. And I am now going to place a bunch of cash in here, even though, to be honest, construction takes so long on castles. It's actually crazy how long it takes, unless you have a really, really good governor or something like that, and you can just hop your governor around all the time, which obviously I don't really want to do, if I'm honest. I would prefer not to do that. So now they are all scattered to the wind. And indeed, Kyoto Castle is now going to go to the fellow that we made, the new vassal, very, very close by to this area. And thankfully, he's actually on the ticket, because I was going to question what was going on there, because he really does need the fiefs. Of course, he really does need the fiefs. So this is what we're looking at right now. And you can see here we have an army over there of our very own, and I'm hopeful that we're actually going to do a relatively good job against the Shimazu. Hopefully we will be able to. If we don't, then I don't really know what to tell you, because I need to go into the marketplace here and actually buy some food. And then maybe what we're going to do is we're going to move on. I don't know what we're going to move on to, though. Usually I have a little bit of a plan in mind, you know. Usually I go, oh yes, we'll go over here and we'll do this and then we'll do that and so on. And well, in this case, I don't really have a plan, which is a bit strange. Usually I will, to a certain degree, small amount, you know, small plan, you know, somewhat. But yeah, because I'm thinking to myself right now, where do we want to go? Do we want to go all the way over to Mizue Castle? Do we want to go all the way over there? I mean, their home base has been taken already, as you could see. I think that's a civil war. That's a rebellion going on. So technically, if I were to take just this one castle, then that faction would be eliminated. So the question is, do we want to do that? I mean, you can see here, if I make peace with them, it is going to require us to pay 380 tribute. Not entirely sure why that would be the case, considering, look at their... look at their strength. Their strength is literally nothing, basically. So it's very, very weird. But I guess it's not going to take me that long to get over there, is it? Yeah, maybe it is. That's the one thing that I was kind of a little bit dubious about, because I didn't really want to make my way all the way over there in comparison to going to help with the Shimazu. But here's the thing. If my forces are any good... Oh, there we go. Yeah, as you can see right there, they did actually manage to win that battle, whatever battle they were actually doing. But they seem to be doing a relatively decent job at achieving victory, so I guess I don't have anything to worry about, do I? So we can basically just move on to the castle here and maybe take it, and then indeed eliminate yet another faction. Well, just as I was about to go inside to the castle, we have a bit of an interference. Oh yeah, we have some people that actually want to attack us with 607. Now, for me personally, I actually feel like maybe they might very well have a chance to win here. And usually I'm going to have a pretty good idea. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, wait. This is not too bad. This is not too bad. I mean, this is one of those battlefields which I'm not a terribly big fan of, mostly because we are so incredibly close to the opponent, and there's basically nothing we can do about, you know, gaining distance or anything like that. However, it is extremely flat, so it is going to make things slightly easier for our forces to shoot at them. There aren't any hills or dips or anything like that. However, as I say, I'm not sure if I am... Oh, never mind. Okay, well, I did actually just eliminate one of these guys pretty easily. One of the enemy lords, that is. But yeah, anyway, point is, I'm not entirely sure what kinds of units these guys even use. I don't think I've seen these fellows before, so I have no idea what they're good at, or what they're bad at, or anything. So, it might be a surprise. Hopefully not. Alright, we're gonna just auto-delegate to every single person on the battlefield right now, because it is going to generally choose correct, you know, courses of action, especially when the enemy is right on top of us. We may, in fact, want to charge our archers to a certain degree. And as you can see, we have just completely and utterly destroyed them for the most part. This first initial wave is very important. And if we do end up losing the first wave, well, usually that results in a lot of casualties. We are losing some more people right now. I'm actually quite surprised about that. I'm not entirely sure why that would be happening, because we are dominating in melee combat here. We should theoretically have no issues whatsoever. Yeah, there we go. Okay, a little bit better, a little bit better. We are losing some more though, which is not great. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to reconsolidate our forces right now. I'm basically just going to tell everyone to hold position back here. and we're just going to allow the opponent to walk into us. I don't really want to overextend ourselves. That's the funny thing. Usually, it's very easy to get carried away. You know, it's one of those games where if you think you're going to achieve victory, you really want to push the advantage. You know, you want to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to easily win this. I should make sure that the enemy knows. You know, I should go up to them and I should tell them that they are going to lose, and you know, do all that wonderful stuff that people do when they're winning, right? But now that's the thing. In those situations, that actually is a bit more detrimental than it might be. It depends. It depends, because obviously sometimes you're going to get shot in the chest, and other times you're going to survive. And luckily, in this case, we are 100% surviving, and we didn't get shot in the chest for 115 damage. And there's the victory for us. And we did end up losing about 13 troops, but again, that is really very, very minuscule in comparison to the amount of prisoners that we have. We can actually just, you know, get those guys almost instantaneously. Now, for some reason, we're actually still in the battle here. Very strange. Not sure why they would want to continue to stay in here, but they are giving me an additional 100 influence and 50 renown, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure why they would do this, but yes, otherwise what I am going to do is I'm going to actually let every single one of these guys go, because it may very well be the case that they might want to join me or something like that. I don't know. Maybe they will at some point. Who knows? Yeah, we're just going to do that. Maybe gain a little bit of honor here or there, and we'll just try to get some additional prisoners here as well, because we do have some space. Just going to do this. And there we have it. And it's really funny, actually. It's really funny because we have so many prisoners constantly that me being able to instantaneously replace units that we lose is extremely strong, you know, and that's exactly the point. You know, that's the reason why I have, you know, put a lot of stress on the amount of perks that you can get that allow you to convert units or enemy prisoners extremely quickly. You know, that's the reason why I've been speaking about it and telling you about it and stuff like that, because it is just so good. Anyway, we are gonna just get rid of a couple of horses here just so that my herding is not having a problem. I'm for some reason always taking horses now. I don't know why I'm doing that, because I shouldn't really be doing it. Yes, I shouldn't really be doing it at all. Anyway, we'll just take what we can here. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so basically we're fine in almost every single respect. I'm fine in terms of cash, we're fine in terms of influence, and, well, morale is never really an issue. So all we need to do now is wait until the remaining garrison units have been eliminated and then head in. Alright, so it's this layout we know and love. Yes, I am at 40% HP, by the way, so it's probably not going to be significantly good for us, health-wise, for us to be making our way in here, but I was impatient, okay? I was impatient, and I kind of want to get these guys out of here, and hopefully we can do that. And that is all she wrote right there. Yep, that is indeed it. And they even did manage to retreat quite a few people. We lost 0, by the way. Yeah, pretty significant victory right there. Obviously, that's thanks to the starvation mechanic once again. Of course, sometimes, sometimes that doesn't even stop us. Sometimes that literally doesn't even make any difference. Sometimes we literally have situations where I'm going in there and I still end up dying. I still end up dying, and I still need to retreat, even with the starvation mechanic in effect. So I think it very much depends on certain decisions made during that particular siege. That's probably the case. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to claim this fief for myself. I'm going to claim this fief for myself, and there's a reason for that. I am going to be creating a vassal, and the vassal is going to be this guy, I think. Yeah, this guy. He's the new one, I believe. Am I correct about that, actually? Oh, dear. See, now I have no idea who's who. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just see here. Okay, so this is Mangoro, that's Genzaburo, that's me, obviously, and then that's Shoichiro. Okay, yeah, so that's absolutely fine. So we can basically make one of these guys. Yeah, one of these guys, the new vassal. I have no idea who it should be. Probably this guy, I guess. I don't know whether it makes any difference, to be honest, who it is, but yes, there we go. You're going to be having Mizue Castle. There we are. Fantastic. And he's going to be calling himself... There we are. What a wonderful, wonderful name that is. Okay, I have no idea what we're really calling our people anymore. It doesn't really have anything to do with me personally. I'm just coming up with random things. But yeah, there you go. That is cool. Very nice indeed. And now, thanks to that, we're going to have a presence in this area. And hopefully, he's going to become super, super strong over time. And who knows, we may, in fact, wait a minute. Is this a small faction right here? I'm actually wondering whether this is a small faction. It may very well be. Oh, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yes, you might be. Yeah, we might want to actually take this and then give it to this vassal. Let's actually see here. Okay, let's have a look at them. Okay, yeah, no, they literally have one fief. They literally have one fief, and this is it. This is pretty crazy. Okay, this is pretty crazy. So, in other words, we can literally go straight on in here, and we can then give it to our friend. Our newly acquired vassal friend. At least that's the hope. And we have another child level up right here. Alright, so let's get some more control skill, I think. Get some more control skill, get some more bow skill, and then he can also gain some scouting too. Alright, so let's make our way into the town, and we're obviously going to do a little bit of setup. Yes, and we need to do a little bit of setup here, because otherwise we're going to have some problems. They're probably going to murder us if that is indeed the case. Okay, so they got 41,000 here. And I'm just going to buy all of the food, as you might expect. And then we'll just sell everything else we can here. There we have it. And yeah, we're going to have some, maybe going to have some issues here. I'm actually not entirely sure, but yeah, well, whatever the case, we'll try it. Okay, we'll try it and we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, rice, need to get rid of a bunch of that. Thank you. And actually, how much should I get rid of? I guess just that. There we go. All right, so it's actually hilarious because there is a vassal right outside, which is extremely funny because that means I can literally just speak to this guy straight away and immediately say to him, yes, you will die now, sir. There we go. And now we will go straight on into the besieging the town. Now, this is a very risky maneuver. Mostly because the enemy has 1,400 troops in the garrison here. And as you can see, this fellow has... this fellow has just been captured. Of course he has. Alright, so 851 troops are available for battle in this garrison here. And this is going to be very difficult. I think it's going to be very difficult. Of course, that all depends on the layout of the siege. Ah! Oh, it's one of these. Okay, yeah, so this is generally one of those where I will get killed. It's just kind of like a matter of time, really. But I'm hopeful that maybe we'll be able to get at least, I'm hoping at least 300 kills, okay? I'm going to set a goal of 300 kills for me, personally, because that's what we're going to need to do if we are going to have any hope of achieving victory. Unfortunately, as you can tell by my forces, we are immediately getting shot to pieces. Ah, there we go. Yeah, those are the reasons. Those are the reasons why we are not going to survive this. The enormous amount of gunners that they have here. They are fundamentally extremely dangerous. And even if they get you in the chest, you know, they don't even need to headshot you for 300 damage. They can just get you in the chest and you will immediately lose a massive chunk of your HP. And unfortunately for me, that is exactly what happened here. So I am going to have a very, very difficult time reaching my goal of 300. Well, yeah, as you can see right there. Very, very difficult. I killed 52. Yeah, that is not enough. I'm sorry. That is not enough. We will have to retreat here and come back in after a small respite. Hopefully that's going to be enough, because here's the thing. There are a bunch of armies outside, as you can see. A bunch of vassals outside. Let's continue our siege preparations. We need to immediately go in here and replenish our ranks. This is the reason why, again, having a way to sort of gain troops when you're in a siege, you know, so you don't have to go and recruit anyone, you don't have to go to a garrison or anything like that. You can just immediately recruit these troops from your prisoner's hold. Super, super useful. Alright, so we're having a small issue here right now. I've waited for a little bit of extra time here, and the Mori have now decided to declare war against us. I'm going to change our war strategy against them to balanced once again, and instead I am going to create an offensive war strategy for the Shimazu. Hopefully that is going to be relatively good. Unfortunately, the Mori are looking really, really strong still, as you see there, 7,400. Very surprising, actually, that they have such a significant amount still, but there it is. And the Shimazu, as you can see, are already at a war exhaustion of 90. So it is very, very likely that they will make peace with us very soon. But that's okay. That's okay, because that's exactly what we want. Although, you know, it would be great if we could eliminate them. I'll take the next best thing, which is a nice little truce here and there. You know, that's always good, right? Anyway, we're full HP. We're going to go into the siege here. I am very much expecting to die super, super quickly once again. Just purely because gunners. Yeah, gunners. They are the main source of problems here. So the thing is, I'm thinking what I'm going to do first is I'm just literally going to let my forces... I think I'm going to go up the left side. Here we go. Going to let my forces go up. First of all, and hopefully I'm not going to get shot. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a nice start. Now, as you may notice, I'm actually very specifically ignoring a lot of the archers, and instead I am going very much for the gunners. I am just trying to specifically target them down massively. Now, I am charging in here by myself, which is probably not the best idea, so you know what? I'm going to get out of here. I mean, to be fair, I think we'd probably be okay for another 5 seconds or so, but then we'd probably get shot and die. So, probably a good idea to be a bit cautious in this situation. Especially considering they still have some pretty good units, as you can see, thanks to the vassals in here. Because there are a lot of vassals still stationed in the garrison itself. I'm just waiting for the first volley of bullets to go off. Obviously, we don't really want to take that in the face instantaneously upon us showing our face. Thank you. Okay, now this is going to get a little bit dicey. Ooh, yeah, I got myself eliminated at the very end there. That's okay, though. That's okay, because I did eliminate 190 troops. I was hopeful to get a little bit more, just a handful more, but, you know, it would have been, a kind of a miracle to survive longer than we did. So, pretty nice that we were able to eliminate 450. I think this should technically be... This should be a capture. We should have this. We should have this in the bag. It is very much a case of us just being like, well, can we just seal it? Can we seal the deal? I don't know. It looks as though we are going to be able to. Yeah. We will be able to. Most of them actually, well, quite a few of them decided to retreat at the very end, which I have to say, I love that. That's exactly the reason why I'm a huge fan of reducing the enemy's morale by... you know, killing their vassals and stuff like that. Really makes a huge difference. Anyway, there it is. We did end up losing 23 troops total, which is pretty good. I mean, you know, all things considered, this was a harsh siege, but we were able to do it in the end. And we are obviously going to let most of these guys go. We're just going to let most of them go because their faction has now been technically eliminated. So, you know, who knows what's going to happen in the future. Maybe we'll get an opportunity to speak to them, recruit them, you know, something along those lines. You never know. All right, so we got 20 people here. Just going to recruit all. And we're going to leave on, and there we go. That's it. Fantastic. So now look at this. Now we're back up. We're back up to full strength once again, which is all thanks to our prisoners. It's absolutely insane. It really is. And I'm going to claim this fief. And the main reason why I'm claiming this fief is, apart from the fact that I want to place a bunch of money in here, of course, to assist our vassal, we are going to be gifting it to our vassal immediately after this. Let's just build a couple of things there. There we go. And there's the autosave as well. But yeah, we're going to be obviously giving it to our new vassal who has the castle nearby. And this is going to provide him with a massive amount of cash. It really is. It's going to give him so much money. Because I think the prosperity of this town is pretty good. Yeah, it's okay. It's not amazing, but it's all right. And we're going to give it to him. There we go. And there we have it. Okay, fantastic. So now every single one of these vassals is done. And they have been eliminated. As a faction, they have been eliminated. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. Now, the one thing we do have to worry about is our vassal. Is he actually going to do a relatively good job here? Or is he just going to continuously get himself taken prisoner? That's the question. That's the question. Now, I'm hopeful. Hello there. I'm going to help you. There we go. Hopeful that we can actually do some pretty cool things here. As in, we can just literally go in to fight some of these vassals and immediately just auto-resolve against them. Eliminate them from contention. Because we really don't want them to stick around in this area. And, you know, consistently raid our villages and attack our vassal and so on. I have no idea where he is, by the way. It feels to me like he has completely disappeared. But I guess I am kind of hoping that he's going to come back sometime soon and actually do something. Okay, wait a minute. Something extremely big has just happened. And the big thing is Oda Nobunaga actually declaring war against us. Yes. He literally just declared war against us. And I have no idea where he is. He's over here. Alright, so... Okay. His faction is not that large. I was actually half expect... Well, it is actually pretty big, to be honest. In comparison to the Mori, of course. That's the one thing that... Yeah, that's the one comparison that I can kind of make right now. Because they are the... I think they're probably the largest faction that we fought so far. But let's just take a quick look and actually see what it is all about. Yeah, as you can see, they are probably the strongest we're going to see. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, most of these other guys are... Oh, no, actually, the Nanbu, the Hojo, they're actually looking pretty good as well. Yeah, the Takeda clan as well, obviously. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, there are actually quite a few factions that can still pose us a pretty significant threat. Wait a minute, I see. Okay, so there is actually an Oda clan castle nearby. And I think we probably want to do something about that. So, let's see what we're actually going to get. We got 334. Alright, okay, let's have a look and actually see what kind of... 9 days. Not a terribly big fan of 9 days, but I can work with it. Okay, so the food situation has now been depleted in the castle. Unfortunately, we are still not able to go in there just yet because they still have a couple of troops remaining. However, the Shimazu have now decided to give us 575,000, and I'm going to say, sure, why not? Why not? And then we do have a couple of level ups for our children here. So let's do this. Let's do leadership. And he's going to gain charm as well. And... look at that! We've taken Ichifuji Castle! Very nice. Okay, I like this. So we're going to give this to this fellow because he's the one that actually took it, I believe. He is the owner, or shall we say not the owner, or... Well, he's more the leader of the army in that area. And we have now made peace with them as well. So they've basically lost multiple fiefs. I have no idea how many, but they should have lost multiple fiefs in that situation. And what we're going to do, Gonna just build a battering ram real fast. I actually should have done that beforehand, but I was a little bit lax on that. But yeah, we're just gonna build this battering ram, and then we are immediately going to be auto-resolving in this siege. Usually I don't auto-resolve ever in a siege, because usually it actually results in you losing quite a few troops. However, look at this. Now we have Hatamoto troops that we can get. Oh yes, that is amazing. I am very much looking forward to trying to convert those to our side. It is going to be extremely difficult for us to do that, I think, probably. But I'm very much looking forward to it at the least. So let's just do this, and this. There we are. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, so this is obviously going to be extremely difficult. Like, the Oda clan in general are going to be very, very hard because they have the Hatamoto troops. Hatamoto troops being basically the strongest units in the entire mod, so we are going to have to be very, very careful about that. Now we just have to provide the fief. Now look at this. Look at what we have going on here. We have a fellow directly from the Oda clan here, and they are trying to take Mizue Castle. I'm actually not entirely sure what we're gonna... Wait a minute. How did we take this castle? Okay. Wait. Is my vassal actually doing something by himself, or did someone defect to us or something like that? I actually have no idea. Anyway, we've taken that castle apparently. I have no idea how that happened, but whatever the case, we've got this army here, and they're very clearly wanting to try and conquer some things. So this is going to be a big issue. Let me see actually what they have here. Maybe it's actually not even going to be that bad. They don't have too many of the Hatamoto troops, so I guess we can just be very thankful for that. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.